sense. What do you think about that first half, though, even though it was a tricky start?
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Yes, right. Sorry about that, people. If you lost me, but I back here again. Hopefully, not too much more technical difficulties to go through. But ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to get this really a consistent thing, especially through the summer. Seeing at the end of the season is coming. Trying to build a different audience, build an audience where you guys get to know you guys personally, get you guys coming back to the channel. You know what I mean? Because that's what I really ultimately want to build, and that's a community where I can talk to people about football, whether that be Arsenal fans, whether that be Liverpool fans, whether that be City fans, Spurs fans, just trying to create that community in general around football and really try to build that unity. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, if you like anything on Gunner Street, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna try to open this up to more you guys. But yes, first starting off with the first topic of the night, I want to talk about the Premier League. And as an Arsenal fan, it's not really been a good season. Liverpool officially today have crowned themselves Premier League champions. They won the league today, beating Tottenham Hotspur 5-1 at Anfield. And I want to start off by saying this. Congratulations to Liverpool. Congratulations to Arne Slot. Congratulations to the players because I think they well deserve this league title. I think off a base of a 38 game season, they've put up the points and they've got the results when asked through the trials and tribulations of this league, through referee results, through bad performances, through injuries, through it all, whether they had some or not at crucial times. All that matters in the league title run, and they deserve to lift this league. And I'm not happy for them, but I know a few people like Yudi. I know a lot of others will be happy about this. But I would love to. Hopefully, I don't really have much of you guys in here now, but hopefully, if you guys watch this back or you're watching this at all, you're not watching live. Um, let me know. Let me know your thoughts about Liverpool, man. Let me know what you guys think about their season. A lot of people are calling them the worst champions ever. A lot of people are giving them all types of names and stigmas. For me, I don't mind it. That's what comes with the territory. If Arsenal won a league title due to those circumstances, I would have celebrated the league title as well. I can't blame them for doing what they had to do and taking care of business. And they're putting up a respectable points tally, to be honest. And like I said, I can't really blame them. Which moves me on to my next point, and that's really Arsenal, ladies and gentlemen. We've had a difficult season in the Premier League injury wise. Not really been our best season. We lost quality players at the wrong time. Bukayo Saka being the biggest one through difficult stretch of the time. Martin Odegaard happened early in the season. Now we're missing Gabriel at the back. We've missed Kai Havertz, Jesus, Martinelli missed time. Like all of our quality players at some point in time missed time this season. And I think that hampered us a lot to our title challenge. Thank God we still have the Champions League to back on. But at the end of the day, that really, if we don't win it, then how good really is the season? And I think that's something I do want to touch on. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have anything to say, leave in the comments down below. We got two people in the building, so let me know. Leave your comments down below. Like I said, trying to make this a consistent thing, build a community. Trying to get to know you guys a bit more personal. Trying to get to know you guys, get you guys to know me, and get to talk about broader football aspects in general. So that's what tonight is about. That's what tonight is all about. So get in the comment section. Let's get the conversations flowing. Let's get the conversations going. But yeah, Arsenal, difficult season, very difficult season in the Premier League, especially. Yeah, there's not much to say there, but there's much to say about this next guy I want to bring up, ladies and gentlemen. I know he's one of the most pulverizing players right now because I did a poll today, And a lot of people, it was a very split poll, almost 50-50, down the middle. Let's talk about Martin Odegaard. And is Martin Odegaard world class? A lot of people said yes. A lot of people said no. For me, I think Martin Odegaard you can regard him as world class. I think the 22-23 season when he came into the team, or he really established himself in the team, was the captain as well. Scored goals, I think 15 goals that season. Again, PFA Team of the Year, one of our outstanding players. Then last season, he was Arsenal's Player of the Year, another PFA Team of the Year, not PFA Player of the Year, PFA Team of the Year. Sorry. Listen, because people would regard him as not being world class before. People were saying, "Oh, he has to do it on the big stage." But again, you have to ask yourself, is he not doing it on the big stage this season for Arsenal? I mean, listen, some of his performances have been poor. I'll be the first one to say that. But even missing injury, even going through a period of injury, ladies and gentlemen, his stats in all competitions: 5 goals, 10 assists. He has 7 assists, I should say, in the last 10 games. So I mean, he's picking up form, and I think against Ipswich he was brilliant. I think against Brentford he was brilliant as well. And I think against Real Madrid across 2 legs, people said, okay, Rice was better, Partey bossed the midfield, and yes, I agree with all that. But I also say Martin Odegaard definitely held his weight and definitely played his part as to Arsenal getting the result over 2 legs over Real Madrid. Here, I'll show you know Martin Odegaard's stats this season. This is Martin Odegaard's stats according to FB Ref. Shot creating actions per 90. He ranks in the top 1 percentile. So he's still one of the most creative players in Europe's top 5 leagues. He's still also one of the best progressive passers in Europe's top 5 leagues with almost 10 per 90. Same thing with progressive carries in terms of carrying the ball, 3.49 per 90 as well as progressive passes received with 6 per 90 in terms of receiving those passes from maybe a Rice or Partey or maybe Saliba or even Saka. So I think, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I think Martin Odegaard is world class. A lot of people would argue not. I think as a player who's developed under Mikel Arteta and grown and got better under Mikel Arteta, I'd have to only give him credit. Even in his down years, he never shies away from it. I hold my hands up and say he always gives his 100% all for the Arsenal. He leads the team by example most times. Yes, this season is a down season for him in terms of some of his performances, but 5 goals and 10 assists, going through some of the poor form people are saying, and look at the stats right in front of you in terms of what he's been able to do per 90 on average. Hey man, I give Martin Odegaard a lot of credit, man, a lot of praise. But next person I do want to talk about that follows along a similar line is the manager of Arsenal Football Club, and that's Mikel Arteta. Again, another polarizing man to the Arsenal community. Some people have an agenda, some people stick by him, some people want him out. Ladies and gentlemen, get down in the comment section down below. Give me your thoughts about Mikel Arteta and his future. I think for me, I can't see no possible way he's sacked. But still, I bring up this conversation because of this. A lot of people are saying if he doesn't win a trophy this season, he's under pressure next season. I give him a pass this season of not winning the Premier League due to injuries. But the Premier League season in context has been a bad one. It has been a bad one. He's putting that European form in front of him, and I want him to go full steam ahead and lift the European Cup. But there's all facets and possibilities that we can get knocked out of the Champions League. And that is a true factor. I'm one of the believers and think that we will win it, but you also, as much as you think you can win it, you also have to take into account you can very much lose it across 2 legs or in a one leg final as well. So I think his future is safe for this season, but I think the conversation around Mikel Arteta is going to get very strong if he goes trophyless this season. And if he doesn't have a good season next season, I think he will come under a lot of scrutiny. A lot of scrutiny. I hear a lot of people talking about getting the manager out. They're still with this agenda, and it's something that's going to be simmering. They're quieted right now because we're in the Champions League semi-final. We're winning games in Europe, I should say. The league, have written that off. It's not been a good league season at all. But we're just gonna have to wait to see that the end of the season holds. If we're being completely honest, we're just gonna have to wait to the end of the season. It's been a difficult one, I should say. Let's just not say the least. But ladies and gentlemen, now we talk about the UEFA Champions League. Here we are presenting the Champions League. We have Arsenal versus Paris Saint-Germain, and we have Barcelona versus Inter Milan. Now I want to start on the other side of the bracket because I talked about Arsenal at length, and I always talk about Arsenal. But let me talk about FC Barcelona, and let me people. You can also let me know in the comment section down below, watching live or not watching. In terms of like live and watching after the fact, are Barcelona the scariest team in Europe? Again, they've came back from the dead against Benfica. They've had a lot of comebacks this season. Just the other day, I can't remember who it was against, but they were down and Rafinha scored the winning penalty. Like, Barcelona score a lot of goals. I think they're the highest scoring team in all of Europe. They're definitely the highest scorers in La Liga. And I think Inter Milan, I think even though they're a very strong defensive side, I think the second best defensive side in the Champions League behind Arsenal, funny enough, I think they're on pace to win a treble. They're on pace to win a treble. They've scored 89 goals in 33 games. They have a player like Lamine Yamal, who's, if I'm being honest, put age aside, is one of the best players in the world at 17 years old. Again, you're talking about a front line that has Lewandowski, one of the best strikers in the world, still putting up massive numbers. Rafinha, who people are putting in Ballon d'Or conversations. Pedri, who's absolutely outstanding. For me, as an Arsenal fan, I'm very confident that we can go on to win the Champions League. But if you had to ask me who I think is the scariest team in Europe, a team that I really wouldn't want to face out of whoever is left in the Champions League right now, it'd have to be this Barca team. It'd have to be this Barca team. The one thing I would say against them though, they give up a lot of chances, as you can see there. They play the offside trap. They play that game really well under Hansi Flick. I think the style of football is very entertaining, but it can be got at. We had a 4-4 draw this season with Atletico. They've given up a lot of goals in this season. So listen, they give up a lot of chances. They had a 5-4 victory against Benfica. They had a few other results that were very high scoring. So listen, they're a scary team, but they can be got at. Again, that attack on form is one of the best attacks in the world. Again, like I said, Lamine Yamal with Pedri, Gavi, Frankie De Jong. They have a quality side, man. Quality side. And I think I think matchup wise, I think Arsenal in a one-legged game can beat them. I think they can beat them. How confident I back them to do it? We'll have to wait and see. Anything happen on the day. But I'm less confident playing Inter than I would be Barcelona, if that makes sense. Just due to the fact, one, we've played Inter before, and I hate how they play against us in terms of the style of play. The matchup does not suit us in terms of they sit back, they play deep, they defend well, they make it very difficult for you to break them down, and that's been our Achilles heel all season, breaking on a low block. Again, I mean, it's Europe. They'll also back themselves to come at Arsenal and score a goal. They have Lautaro Martinez, they have Marcus Thuram, they have a very good attack as well as a very strong defense with Bastoni and all those guys. But again, I back Arsenal to go on and win it. But who do I back out of this semi-final? I'd have to pick Barca. And a Barcelona Arsenal final. Jeez. Woo. I'd want to see it, but it'd be a very nervy one to say the least. It'd be a tense one. Very, very tense. Very, very, very tense. But you guys, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think about Barcelona's? Are they the scariest team in Europe? Who is the scariest team in Europe, if not Barcelona? A lot of people might argue PSG. I heard someone on the internet say that they have the most balanced midfield in the world. I mean, they have Dembele, who's on crazy form. Desiree Doué, one of the best young players in world football. You have also Kvaratskhelia, a wonderful player, somebody I wanted at Arsenal even during the January window, if we could have put down that money for his wages as well. But that PSG team is a scary team. Neves, Vitinha, they have a really good team. But like I said, I think Arsenal's midfield matches up well against them in terms of not only are we physical, but we also very technical. We can dominate that midfield. If Thomas Partey comes back for the second leg, hopefully he picks up no injuries in between the time. He's only missing the first leg due to suspension. But I think Arsenal. I think Arsenal might lift this Champions League, guys. If I'm being very real with you, I think we have a. I wouldn't call us the favorites. I think Barcelona are the favorites. But if you were to ask me who's the favorite out of the Arsenal Paris tie, I think we're the favorites. And in the final, I think we're the favorites behind Barca, who are also favorites against Inter. So I think we're the second favorites to win it all. That's the pressure you get when you beat Real Madrid and you assert yourselves as one of the best in the world. In terms of, I talked about Odegaard being world class, but I definitely think Declan Rice has a shout to be world class. Bakayo Saka has a shout to be world class. We have a Saliba, Gabriel, or have a shout to be world class. David Raya has a shout to be world class. I don't know if that's an argument people are ready for. I think when you look at save catalog, when you look at how he claims the ball in the air, when you talk at how he plays with his feet, when you talk at, like I said, in terms of his reading the game and shot save variety, David Raya definitely has a shout to be world class. I think look at last season, led the league in clean sheets, lead the league in goals, least amount of goals conceded this season, as well as almost I don't know if he's leading in the clean sheet battle, but he's definitely in the top 2 or 3. Definitely has a shout to be world class. That's just me though. I don't know if a lot of people are ready for that conversation, but last two things I want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what I want to talk. A conversation I had with a friend the other day. We talked about talent versus ability, and his argument was that everyone is born with an ability. You have to work hard and train hard to get the talent to become successful. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. I don't agree with that. I think there are people that are naturally born talented. I've played with some guys, especially in Barbados and here as well, that never played organized football ever in their life, and they played against guys, and they were class. They were class. They were class, and I think that's what you call natural born talent. No, I think everyone has an ability. When you break it down, he like to look at stuff and say, well, everyone has an ability. For example, running. Would you call running an ability or a talent? Well, again, I look at it like this. Depends on what field you're in. Anyone can run, yeah, but to be an Olympic runner, you have to have a talent. Like you have to have some kind of talent. You have to build your ability. So I think when you argue talent versus ability, there's like some gray area in between it. But I think everyone can have an ability technically. Anyone could kick a ball, but you have to have a talent to be able to do special things with the ball. And we only specify certain individuals as that. Like we only use talent really when we talk about specific kinds of individuals, if we're being honest. Like only specific individuals get labeled with the talent, with a talented or a young prospect or a young talent tag. I think players like, I mean, Lamine Yamal, take Lionel Messi, take Neymar. I think those players were naturally talented, naturally gifted. Yes, they grew up in the right environments to nurture that gift and nurture their ability, but there has to be some level of talent that went along with that. No one can tell me that they were just normal kids and they were trained into that. That's impossible. I know people that train all their life and they're nowhere near that. Nowhere near. And I mean, them all is 17. So listen, I think you can try to argue that, but at the end of the day, people talking about maybe what do you quantify? How do you quantify how do you quantify talent? Because you can measure someone's ability, you could track someone's ability. Technically, you can, but if you pick up someone who doesn't have the training compared to someone who does have training, and their level is very much the same, well, that has to be talent, no? Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of that debate in terms of talent versus ability. I think it's an interesting debate. I think it's one that I didn't know was going to gain such traction, but I think talent versus ability. I think there are people that are talented, and everyone can have an ability, but not everyone is talented. So that's my final say on that. And no, I want to just leave this section open for anything you guys want to say. I have something I want to talk about, maybe like more closer to personal, outside of football. If you guys want to give your thoughts and opinions about it, but I want to talk about self doubt. I really want to start it. I want to make this like kind of a thing I end all of my lives with, or close. I want to wrap up all my lives with. This is something personal to me. But talk about self doubt, how to overcome self doubt. And I'm someone that started up this YouTube channel in terms of I started doing vlogs. I started doing like, you know what I mean? I started as a vlog channel, trying to vlog my life and try to do stuff like that. And well, I realized like that kind of stuff doesn't drive me. Like that's not my passion. That's not what I get up every day and it motivates me to make. Like I guess I could do that content, but I never really found the passion behind doing that content. Like, everyone, I think everyone has that in their life, something that drives them or something that gives them purpose. For me, it always has been sports, specifically football. Like I've always, for my whole entire life, love football. I love talking about football. I love playing football, and it's just been me all my life. For me, I think overcoming self doubt, where I get to that is when I started this channel, I had a lot of doubts. There's been millions of creators that talk about not only Arsenal, but talk about Premier League content, talk about football content in general. I started this channel like 2 years ago now, and I was tired of the mainstream media. I made it off the fact I was tired of the mainstream media feeding me narratives about my favorite team, and it wasn't true. It was different from what it was pushed. And I saw AFTV get traction. I saw all these other personal channels get traction. And I saw, you know what? Why not my voice? Maybe I might reach an audience. Maybe people might want to hear what I say. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that started with doubt. That started with me being shy about what I make, how I make certain content. How do I edit? Is my editing good enough? Is my background good enough? Is my equipment good enough? That was all the self doubt I started with. And to be honest, luckily for me, it's not the best amount or it's not the best thing in the world yet. But 1,000 subscribers I've managed to grow for myself, and I'm gaining I'm gaining some traction, and I'm gaining a knowledge, and I'm gaining skills. So I just want to say to you people that are watching, you know what I mean? Like, it's about get rid of that self doubt, and it will open so many doors for you. So many doors for you. I took that self doubt out of it. I went to O'Hanlon's bar and I've met a great community of people, a great batch of people, people that support me in my content, people that watch that might like a video, and even if they don't do a share it around, maybe give it a click, maybe not. But still, I respect that. People that I've gone out and just met, enjoyed good time with, So I just want to say, people, like, take a shot on yourself, give yourself a chance, and you never know what can happen. Get rid of that self doubt, and you might see magic open up in your life. But like I said, people, thank you guys for watching. This has been a quick live. I'm gonna try to do these 20-minute, 25, 30-minute lives weekly. I'm gonna try to keep them Sundays for now, little sessions. You guys can come in, tune in, drop your thoughts, drop your opinions. I'm gonna try to keep it consistent, gonna try to keep it going for you guys. So if you like it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Gunner Street. I have all Arsenal content, but like I said, I'm trying to open this up to all of you guys. So bring your football opinions, bring your football analysis, and let's keep this channel going, man. Let's keep this community live and let's build this, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the family, and I'll catch you guys on the very next one. Thank you for your stream.